Okay. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Like Yogi said, I'm Kirsi Pulkamo, and I work as a head of unit in the information and statistic units. So the name of the unit also already says something what we are doing. But what I'm responsible in Trafi is that we provide the Trafi's data, the personal data that Yogi mentioned, to the outside of Trafi, to all kind of services that includes transport. And a few words about Trafi as an organization. Like mentioned, there is the driving license and vehicle registration, but we have all 4 traffic forms. So we have aviation, we have maritime, we have rail transport, and then we have the road traffic. And Trafi is usually known as issuing permits and licenses concerning about these 4 traffic forms, and also to supervise organizations involved with the transport. We heard in the morning that Estonia has the 5th freedom, the free flow of data. We are not there that far yet in Trafi, but we have a 5th form of traffic, that's information, and that's mainly because we have so much personal data stored in our registers. So we use the data in our own operations, but also very broadly outside of Trafi. For example, in police operations, in customs, the vehicle insurance companies are a big user group, and so Trafi's data has a big role in the whole society of Finland. But the issue today was to tell you about how Trafi is moving towards MyData. I have 3 points. The first is to get the individuals easy access to the data. The individuals has to know what is recorded about them in the registers. The second point is to enable novel data-based services, and the goal is to provide the data that we have to operators and organizations so that they can create new data-based services. And the third part is support all kind of trials, and to achieve that goal, we have launched in Finland the Traffic Lab, and that's something I will tell you later on a little more. So, easy access to data. In the MyData model, the individual is in the center. The individual has the right to know what is stored about him in the register, and the first thing that we have to do is to get the access to the data and to get the data available to the individuals. When the process of handling data is transparent, the individual is more likely to trust the authority and to the data that is recorded, that it's correct in the registers. You're probably wondering who the guy is in the middle. He's Yrmy. In English that would be something like grumpy. He usually is very grumpy, but now he's smiling. He's our missionary when implementing the GDPR in Trafi, so he knows that his rights as a data subject will be taken care of, so that's why he's smiling. You will see him later on in the slides. One way of making your organization processes transparent is to have a data balance sheet. This is a yearly document in Trafi. We have now launched it twice, or published it twice. just yesterday, we published the English version of last year's data balance sheet, so you can find it on our website. The data balance sheet is a document to show our accountability and to tell how our personal data processing is planned and carried out. So check it out from our website. One point of transparency is also to have the data available, like I said earlier. To do that, you can have this MyData portal, e-service portal in Trafi. We of course have one, and every organization should have an easy way to give the person to see his or her data. So in Trafi, in the portal, you can find the basic information about you, the vehicle that you own, and the information about your driving license, but of course in all 4 traffic forms. In Trafi, we try to do things a little better and to make the data even more available to the individuals. So that's why we're launching a trial. It's a mobile app of driving license, and it's a trial that starts at the end of this year, and it will be Trafi's present to Finland as its 100 years of anniversary. So here's a prototype of the mobile app. Unfortunately, it's in Finnish. We don't have an English translation yet, but I will show you a short video of what kind of elements the mobile app maybe have in the future. Okay, that's something that we're trying to launch by the end of this year as a trial. So the second point was what I stated in the beginning, is that Trafi's action of MyData is also to enable these new database services. It's not a new thing to have these services. Trafi has already very widely, Trafi's data is already very widely used outside of Trafi. Besides all the other government organizations and authorities, there are over 70 companies that uses Trafi's data in over 150 services. And in 2016, Trafi disclosed about 750 million data units to these services. So it's a big field already. To give you some idea what these services are, there are these register queries for private person. So under Finnish legislation, you're able to have a service where you can put the license plate number, and as a result, you will get information about the vehicle and the owner or the holder of the vehicle. Then there are services concerning about spare part supply, so you can find the right part for your car. Then there is vehicle insurance companies. There are a big user group for our data. And car rental companies, they are a new type of data users. What they use the information for is to get the information that about the driver who is renting the car, if he has the right to drive the vehicle that he's renting. So the old-fashioned driving license is not necessary anymore. And then there is direct marketing. It's also a big function. So I have a picture of what it looks like today, the process of releasing data from Trafi. So the data goes straight to the service provider, for example, for the car rental company. And what we do in Trafi is to evaluate if the company has the right to get the data they asked for. And the individual can only restrict handing over the data to the service provider. But like we heard today several times, in the MyData model, the individual is in the center, and we also need these MyData operators to get this new kind of process in function. And so this is one transformation also Trafi has to be ready for. And the third point of our actions is Traffic Lab. It's originally launched by the Ministry of Transport and Communication as an experimental project. The project itself has now ended, but it continues under Trafi's coordination. Here you can see the function of the Traffic Lab. The aim is to support new kind of innovations and trials concerning transport sector. It's a concept where the public sector and the private sector work closely together, and the main goal is to understand the big picture of what kind of possibilities there are in the transport sector. So Trafi's role in Traffic Lab is, of course, to coordinate the cooperation, but also to encourage a new kind of thinking in transport. Here is you can see one of the main function of Traffic Lab. It's a network of open testing ecosystems in Finland, and where the operators also share their thoughts and challenges what they're dealing with. So the map shows where these open test areas are located. As you can see, it covers all of Finland already, or not the eastern part so much, but anyway. Then there's another example of Traffic Lab, what it does. It's the Scanway 2 project. It's a trial where now the vehicle is the platform that collects data like information about the queuing time in the border of Finland and Russia. It's a cooperation now between Finland and Russia, but I've heard that also Estonia has stated its interest to be involved with the trial, so hopefully the trial will expand. And I know there are also the Traffic Lab is also involved with some trials concerning about the MyData model, but they are still in the planning mode, so hopefully hear something about them in the future. And to sum up, I don't know if I have over my time yet, but to sum up the presentation, like stated in the picture, I think MyData is a new mindset, and where trust and transparency has a big role to play. And MyData also means trying something new. To Trafi, it means supporting trials and enabling data-based services, and of course, thinking out of the box. Thank you.